This is James Yu. This is my Project 8 demonstration. I'm going to first walk through the code and then we'll move on to the live demo. As you can see in the beginning, we have our libraries loaded, the free RTOS, which we'll be using the scheduler to schedule our tasks. We only have one, but this is so that we can use it for any future sensors that we add on or other things that we might want to run. We're also loading the Adafruit sensor libraries. You can see here, we're using the BNO055 sensor. We have it initialized. We have some functions here. Those are the function stubs, and we have the definitions later on. You can see in our setup loop, we're starting the serial connection as well as the BN0 sensor. And then what this does is essentially has it running in a loop where it's only printing the calibration status until it's semi-calibrated so that we can trust the info. This is where we declared our free RTOS task, and our loop is empty as we're using the free RTOS. So this is where our task is declared. We can see here that there's an infinite for loop running, and that's for all tasks. They're defined like this. And we have our yaw, pitch, and roll as our event orientation X, Y, and Z vectors. And right here I multiplied by -1 because it was showing, because of the orientation of my sensor, it was just showing that down was up and up was down, so I reversed that. So here in our display calibration status, we're getting the calibration status of our gyroscope, accelerometer, etc. To essentially print it out, and it will continue to display this until the system is not 0, which means that it is calibrated, as you can see in our setup function above, right here. So now we're going to start calibrating the IMU sensor and do a test flight. So now we're going to listen to the port that's connected to our Arduino, which has the IMU sensor connected to it. Okay, so right now we can see that it's not calibrated yet. I'm going to move around the drone just so it can figure out where it is in its orientation. Okay, and that seems to have done the trick. So now we're going to start with our test flight. Alright, so that concludes our test flight. As you can see, we're still getting the yaw, pitch, and roll data. I just did a little bit of a flying there just to show that the IMU is picking up the data and that it's transmitting correctly to my Raspberry Pi.